Hey, what's up, everybody? It is September 6th, Wednesday. Futures markets are now closed for the day, and want to go over them. So, starting off right here with the Dow Jones is what we're doing. The setup that I have been talking about the past couple of days, it finally went and completed. You can see how the setup works. Is it using that semaphore, red semaphore, red semaphore, red semaphore, when price closes below the line right here from the inside pitchfork, which is this red bar right there. Zoom in a little bit right there with the black line. That's the entry bar where you can go short. And the original target is down here at the 1.146 level right there. But as you can see, price went the opposite way. So when it hits the 1.146 opposite way, then we make the exit. The exit moves to the original entry, which is right there. And it really went far away from it, all the way to the 2.618, which is kind of like what I consider the line in the sand, where it's going to go a lot higher than that, and I'm going to trash the setup. And it was on the verge of that, especially when it started popping off that day right there at 7:30 in the morning. But then when the market soon after opened, about 8:30, we had a sell-off and never came back up to those levels. Almost a good little kind of like triple top right there, even something like that. But anyways, I don't really look for those. So market sold off, continued sold off, and then today really put the exclamation on it. As you can see, here's the black line right there where we hit it and finished that trade setup for that one to be complete for right there. And actually came down and actually hit the exit down right over there as well. But I used the entry level when it goes the opposite way for it. So that one's done. So good news there. There is another setup that is live in it, another short one, and this utilizes the just the regular pitchfork using the same number as the inside pitchfork, 2.645, which is the square root of 7. And so we're using red semaphore, red semaphore, red semaphore. We see price came back down and closed below the white line, the edge right there. So that is the entry level right there. And the original exit was down here, the 1.146 right there. And price did get a little bit closer to it, but not close enough for me to consider it to be done, and actually just bounced right off the white line and just started going up the opposite way. Has come over here, hit between the 1.146 and 1.44 the opposite way, but hasn't gone much higher, and now has taken a sell-off down ever since. So there's still a little bit more room to go for the downside to hit this black line down here. So we're still looking at where price currently is, another about 330-ish points here in the Dow Jones for that to go hit for that short setup. And if we look at it today, we can see the extension levels, the lows from the day, acted as a little bit support, but then pretty much soon as when the market opened, 8:30ish right there. We had a sell-off, recovered a little bit to it, but it's enough for me to consider a blowout day. When blowout day means when it goes past the daily extension levels, whether it's the higher low side of it, which it obviously did today. I call that a blowout day, and those don't happen as often as days when price hits those and uses that support, bounce off of it, but it does happen from time to time. That's what happened today in the Dow Jones market for it. So still looking for a little bit more weakness, another 330 points, another percentage point in Dow Jones, come down there and hit that one, and then be settled up with that trade. Look at that MFI, even the MFI didn't get to the oversold level yet, so signifying there will be eventually some more weakness in the market to get back down in there to finish that trade setup. Now the 1 hour is in oversold territory, so that is something to look for right there. Is we eventually will get a bounce up. The thing is, will we get the bounce up first, or will we continue go down lower down here, hit that, and then eventually get the move back up, which is what this is signaling right here. Because just because it goes into like overbought, like right here we had going into oversold territory, we got a good little pop up, but then it went into overbought territory, and ever since then we've been going straight down. So it doesn't mean it's going to happen, even though these couple examples are showing like when it went into oversold territory right here, price pop back up, but it doesn't happen exactly on the nose every single time, which is why I don't trade just strictly using the MFI. But just something good to be aware of is that we could get a pop up here before we get the move down and come down and finish out that trade setup right there. So that is the Dow Jones for today. Going over to the S&P 500. I started looking at, and S&P 500 as well for the MFI on the 1 hour chart is in oversold territory as well. So the S&P 500, Dow Jones are trending in sync today. And one thing I put on there was I started testing the one trade setup that I was looking at yesterday, not going live with it, but testing it, seeing what it looks like happening in the markets. So I was using like right here the past 3 days, 1, 2, 3. There's that one. And then these 3 days, 1, 2, 3 days right there. So all these are is the 50 to 60, 1.8. I'll just highlight it, make it easy to see. And then we have the 50 to, excuse me. Sorry, I had to get some water there. Some of the then we have the 50 to 61.8 using these 3 days. Excuse me, the 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 days right there. So the trade I'm looking for is when price comes down and hits the 61.8. Is it reliable enough to go long there and take the exit up close to the 50 right there? As you can see from this 3 days ago, or in not just the past 3 days, but 3 days in total for the move for it. So from, let's see here, these 3 days, 1, 2, 3, it worked out great. Price came down, went just a little lower than 61.8, came back up and hit the 50, so that would have been a nice 13-point profit right there for the S&P. So we'd say that one is good and done. This one hasn't yet come up and hit it. So, you know, if I had gotten in it right there, popped up a little bit for about 5-6 point gain, came down to worse for about 28 point loss right there. But that's the way I trade. Yeah, but like I said, I'm not taking these live yet. So wait to see tomorrow if we're going to get the move back up, and it would be in, you know, close to a 12-13 point gain right there to see if that will go up and get hit, and see if that is if that will be a valid trade setup moving forward. And then like I'll put, if the market keeps moving down, like we can do that trade setup down right there. You know, that's another potential one right there for it. So just things to look at and consider for the S&P 500. That's basically what's going on down there. Today was a definitely blowout day as well for S&P 500. There's the previous day's highs and low, came down. It was right along it from, what is that, about 2 a.m. up to about market open 8:30, and then it just bottom dropped out and closed down here for today. So going into tomorrow, if this trade setup is going to be valid, we will look for price to move back up here a little bit to about 44.8725 from where it currently is. And with the 1 hour MFI being oversold, let's see about the 4 hour. 4 hours nothing. The 4 hour is coming off being overbought up here. We will look for eventually a pop back up like we will for the Dow Jones. Just want to see if the Dow Jones, if we get this continuation move down to fulfill that first before we get the move up. So that's kind of like the action I'm looking for. Even we go down to get it filled and then we get the pop up, or just like the Dow Jones and S&P 500, we get a pop up and then we get the move down. So those are the two scenarios for it. Russell 2000, it was, let's see, that was just seeing if that didn't come up and get hit. Today was, it used off of the extension levels pretty nicely. Came down here, found good support, came down the bottom of it, and then found support and closed inside of it. So that's basically all that's going on in the Russell 2000. The MFI is not, is almost oversold. Had a nice pop up. The 1 hour had been oversold, had a little pop up, hasn't made a move down, so we'd look for, I think, a little bit higher move up for it, although that could be the move, the short move that was in for it. And then the 4-hour is in oversold territory, so it's lining up as well with SP 500 and Dow Jones that sooner than later we will look for a move up in all three of these markets. How high? That I don't know. Yeah, can't tell based upon the MFI. Just that's something to be aware of. Again, are we going to get the pop up and then a move down? But the Russell kind of does kind of what it wants to do compared to the SP 500 and the Dow Jones. Then let's see here. Going on to Nasdaq. Wow, we got a lot of stuff going on Nasdaq. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so this was a trade. I'm in right now. It's just it logged me out right when, as y'all saw when I started doing this for whatever reason. That's what I hate about TradingView. It'll just keep me on my account, and I keep on having to log back in. But in all this kind of like spaghetti bowl over here of everything, basically what we have is we have two longs going on over here. Let's see. Let's hide you. Hide you. All right, cool. So here's where the extension lows for the day, and as you can see, hit right in it, finished right in it real nicely. I'm gonna take that off of there, and what we have right here is we have a long setup, just like the one over there I was showing a little bit. So using the red semaphores right there and the inside pitchfork, we have the first close above it right there in that bar. And so the black bar is the top of that would be the entry bar. Target was originally up here at the 1.146. As you can see, it never came up and hit it. It's come back down, hit the 1.146 the other way. So when that happens, we move the exit up to or down to the entry bar, which is right there. And so that's the level we're looking for Nasdaq to pop up to for that one. Then if we go over, I'm going to hide these. There we go. And then if we go over, I think it's this one I want. No, it's these two. Then if we go over to this one over here, same thing. Using the red semaphores, 1, 2, 3. We had to close above it. Actually, it's on the 15-minute chart. So, okay, this one uses orange. 1, 2, 3. Price came above it. There's the bar we have. Closed above it right there. Right there. And so the original exit was up here, and obviously that didn't get hit. So price came down, hit off the 1.146. Looked like it was going to continue on its way up and hit the black bar up here to complete it. Did not. It's come back down ever since, and I think I got into it like right over here-ish, something like that, since there's two long subs that's in right now. So I'm looking for either I'll either get out right here before this one, or ride it all the way up to here. So we'll just have to see the way it shakes out. But the Nasdaq, it is MFI isn't showing anything for it as well. 4 hours in middle no man's land. 1 hour, okay, the 1 hour did barely go into oversold territory, but it did go down there, just like every other market we've looked at today. The one, at least either the 1 hour or the 4 hour, is in the oversold territory. So we are looking for more of a move up in Nasdaq as well. And yeah, so that's what we're looking forward to the Nasdaq. You know, eventually pop back up, either for the move to go up right here, or if we get more of an extension move, we would get it to go to all the way up there. You know, it's less than, you know, it's 1.6 percentage points, so nothing crazy that we're looking for. It's not like we're looking for a 5% move or anything like that. So that definitely can be done in one day, but it may take multiple days to get there. But we are looking for a pop up, at least up into about, what's that, 15,637-ish, right up there. All right, last but not least, go over to oil. And oil today was in a long, I took today right here. You see the 15-minute chart using right here. There is the, what is this thing? Oh, that was the long point, okay. So that semaphore, 1, 2, 3, you see price came up, closed above it right on this bar, and you see how the orange semaphore is on it right there, and because when I'm trading, I only take the last 3 semaphores. So when like the trade step happened, here you have the last 3, and that one formed. Well, that one did not form right when this bar closed. These semaphores, they close after the fact. It's a they form after the move happened. So the move was probably that moved all the way like down here or something like that, or right there. before this one formed. But if that one was formed right when that one closed, I would have taken it. But it doesn't form till after the fact. So that would just put down for an entry, and that's the entry bar. But the level we're still looking at is the 1.146 up here at 88.52. So when price came back down here around the 50%, I went ahead and got along with it, because even if it went down and hit the 1.146, it was still plenty of profit to be taken. By the time you get right up here, 130 ticks in oil, but still looking for it to come up here at 88.52. So where it currently is at, still another potential about 90 ticks in it. I just took a good like 50 tick, around 45-50 ticks. I think I got in like right here-ish, and then I got out like right in here or something like that. So hopefully what we'd love to see is market come back down tomorrow down here again, back down here. Love to get long there again, and then look to ride it up again. But if not, there could be another push up for price to go hit it and complete that trade. But we are looking for more bullishness in the market to come up here and hit the 88.52 level for it. MFI not doing anything in 15-minute, 1 hour nothing, 4 hour. It is coming off being overbought, so it is something to look at. See right here. See to that, we still haven't had sell off there for oil, and so that's why I don't again trade off the MFI, just because it doesn't happen right when it goes into either overbought or oversold. It can take a while for it to work out before you do get that move downwards. So before we do get the move downwards, I am looking for at least a little bit higher up there from where it currently is, close to another $1-ish in there, and then wouldn't be surprised to see up there, and then more of a sell-off for oil. So that's the game plan for that one tomorrow. All right, everyone, take care out there. Talk to you later. Bye.